What's up, my hunting brothers and sisters? Today we are checking out the new bow that I got and announcing a new partnership. So I'm pretty excited about this one because this thing is sweet. Stay tuned. Something new came today. So let's open this up and check it out. It has been a hot minute, I think, since I've done any type of video of any consequence at all. That's kind of an ironic word that I just said right there. But anyways, let's open this up here. Check out this new knife I got on a recent hunting trip to South Africa. Made locally in South Africa. Ooh, that leather sheath is sweet. But let's open this up. Wonder what could be in here. This shape of box is kind of on the familiar side. Check this out. So, in here, and with this, I am happy to announce that I have recently worked out a deal to work with Darton Archery. So this is the Darton Archery, the Sequel 33 ST squared. Very nice bow. I've shot them in shops. I was looking to get a new bow this year, and this was on my short list on ones that I was going to buy, was the one I was going to buy. Darton and I connected and hit it off, and so we have partnered up, which I'm very excited about. Very proud to be working with them. So yeah, again, this is the Sequel ST, or Sequel 33 ST squared. They've got a 31 and a 35 as well, and they also have the Consequence too. Very nice bow if you're on a budget. Awesome looking bow. But this is basically 33 inches axle to axle, as the name suggests. 6 3/8 inch brace height, as I recall, and speed rating right around, I believe, 335 or so. I would have to look up the specs on that. But this came in, this is right-handed. It's supposed to be 70-pound limbs on this, and so we'll get this all set up for myself, but I am very excited. I really like the feel of these when I shot them. I got this in the OD green. They also come in like a dirt sand kind of color, stone gray color, black, pretty standard. Some different camo options, and then they have their Folds of Honor series, where when you buy one, they donate a certain amount of the money to a veterans type of organization. So that's pretty cool. But I really have been like into the OD green bows lately. So gonna go with that, and I'm really looking forward to setting this up. These come with the smooth mods installed. However, in the box, you also get the performance mods. I probably won't put those on. Maybe I'll try it at some point, but I'm kind of in a smooth mod mode of my life. So my shoulders really appreciate that. But anyway, so regardless, just a beautiful looking bow. And again, I've shot them in shops, so I know what it feels like. And I really appreciate the feel of it, the adjustability. You can time the cables now without a bow press. Which is sweet. You can adjust the draw mods without a bow press. So if you're a guy who doesn't have that stuff, really about all you need a press for anymore is to install a peep sight. Beyond that, you know, for your basic tuning, you don't need a press, which is pretty amazing. So yeah, enough talk on this. Going to go out to the barn and get this thing set up, and we're going to shoot it some. And yeah, I'm excited. New bow time. Awesome. All right, so we're gonna build this thing. Apologize if you hear the fan. It's like 89 degrees and I've got a fan blowing in here. So just going to tolerate it. But first things first, I'm going to set the draw length on this to 29. I'm usually right around 29, 29 and a quarter. I'm going to set it 29. I can tweak it from there. So according to the owner's manual that comes with it on the 33, I need to set the draw stops and the module to number 4.5, and everything is laser etched out here. So it's pretty simple. So I'm not going to go over every step of this build, but I'll just kind of chime in every once in a while, throw in some B-roll of me building it, and we'll just go from there. So we're going to pull this out. Notice it's a small size. They also include the big ones. Apparently, according to the owner's manual, the small size is for 80% let off. The bigger ones are for 75% let off. But just like my preference for smooth mods, I am into the 85% let off stage of life. So that's where I'm at. So we're going to set this at 4.5 because it's my draw length. We'll do the bottom cam as well. And then we'll adjust the draw length module itself. Okay, so now if I pull this out, I rotate this pin around there, it's in 4.5. Now I just have to put this back in. It looks like I can select about any of the holes that I want to. So we'll go back in the middle and we'll go out towards the ends. That is a pretty easy system. Okay, so this bow mount has the integrate and the core mount from Hamskea, so it's kind of nice. I'm going to go with the Hamskea core mount on this bow. So, makes for a pretty slick mounting system, really. The core mount makes such a nice tight to the riser setup. I mean, so would the integrate as well. It's just nice seeing these features included on these bows now. All right, so we're going to get ready to tie in things for a D-loop. The bow is level, the arrow is level. Arrows running through the burger holes. Just going to mark the bottom of my knock point with the silver marker so we can tie it in. So another cool thing about the Dartons are they have this line that's right here at 13/16 off the riser. So you can use that to adjust your rest right to left and center your arrow. It gives you a really good starting point to line up, and that looks pretty good right there. Bingo. I'm gonna go with the upper mounting holes. There's two sets. One is higher and one is lower. Let's start with the upper ones, just see how things work out. That's right on. And that one there's a right on. Let's back it off just a fuzz. That's just off. That's just off. Go ahead and run it till they just barely touch. It's just barely touching. Back it down just a fuzz. I like to get it as precise as possible. That looks as close as you are probably going to get. That's pretty darn good right there. So one of the cool features about Darton's technology is their timing system, or their adjustment for the timing system. So this times out perfectly, which it came from the factory, so you would expect that it would. The cool part about that is this system right here on these cables, if, for example, one of these was out of time, what you can do is there's a set screw you can loosen, you can turn this, and you're going to twist the cable essentially up below the yoke system, and you can get it all in time without having to do like we used to do, put them in a press. You'd have to take your control cable loose, put a twist in it or untwist it, depending on which direction you were going to go, put it back on the drawboard and go back and forth, back and forth. This way, it's so much easier, so much simpler. Again, Darton's basically eliminated the need for a bow press outside of putting in a peep sight. So for tuning purposes, you don't need a bow press, which is pretty spectacular. I mean, obviously a drawboard, but you could draw back and have a buddy watch it, draw back, check it. And if somebody watched enough times, you could tell if you were in time or not as far as syncing the cams. So yeah, so that is essentially the system. Looks really good. Everything about it looks really good. Now, as far as this, right now I've got it set at about 63 pounds draw weight. I want to get a feel for it before I go up to I probably will end up hunting it at about 65 pounds. But very smooth draw cycle coming in and all the way back. Very solid at the back wall. What there really isn't is there's not a lot of valley in this bow. I mean, it's 85%, but there's not a very deep valley. Very dead in the hand, very quiet. All right, so here we are a couple days later after setting up the new Darton Sequel 33 ST squared. Mouthful of a name, but again, as the name implies, 33 inches. Sequel is their name. Squared this is a version 2. So anyways, it's all set up, been shooting great. Go over a few things as we do this, but I want to show you one thing that's not on here right now is also have their leg kit, foldable leg stand, and just going to show you real quick here. I think what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to use it anytime that I know that I'm going to be hunting, say, from the ground. Most of my deer hunting's from a tree. However, I did just get back from an African trip, not with this bow, a different bow, my previous brand of bow. And that would be an instance where I would use these because we were hunting primarily out of elevated blinds and box type of ground blinds. But this is a very slick setup. They basically have here, I don't know if you can see it, I'm not sure how well the camera's gonna focus on this, main bolt and 2 pins. You got a hole, threaded hole here and 2 pinholes in your bottom limb pocket. I need more caffeine this morning, apparently. So you're gonna just line this up. It's super slick. You got one bolt. You're just gonna thread it in. The little pins go in those 2 holes. Grab an Allen key here. And it is the same size as what adjusting your poundage on your limbs are. Boom, that's it. It really goes on and off that quick. So if you knew you were going to be hunting out of a box blind, ground blind, on a ground situation, it'd be very easy to install these. If you're gonna go out and target shoot or whatever, you know, at the range with your buddies or whatever, you can just throw these on and off as you want to. Pretty cool. You simply untwist them, they swing down, and then you twist them back up. Similar to like if you film like I do on your tripod legs typically for your camera, boom, that's it. And you got a stand here. Let me point this down a little bit and you can see that, voila, how pretty slick that is. So that is slick. You can set it on your cam. If you don't want your cam in the dirt, then I suppose you could I probably would need a longer stabilizer. I run my stabilizer typically in my lower hole. It balances my bow better. I find I like that in most of my bows. This one's a little too short to do that. You could probably get away with it, yeah, if you're careful. If you ran, this is only a 8-inch stabilizer, I think. If you ran a 10 or 12 inch, it's probably gonna prop it up better. I'm a guy, I really don't care if my cam sets in the dirt or I throw a hat or something under it and all that. So, all right, so we're gonna shoot a few times here. I want to apologize. The lighting is harsh. This is not typically how I like my videos to look, but my expensive ND filter for my camera is somewhere on the ground in South Africa. I just mentioned I just got back from South Africa trip. I lost it down there. I haven't had a chance to buy a new one, so excuse that. All right, so again, I got it all set up. I did paper tune it the other night. It paper tuned real quick. Cool parts about these bows are the adjustability now, and all these manufacturers, you got to throw it out there, give them all credit. They've come up with some incredible ways as far as adjusting. Used to be we'd have to micro tune rests, and now, you know, whether it's moving your cam side to side or your limb adjustment, which is what the Darton uses, it makes things super simple. The Dartons have this limb adjustment system. You've got a bolt here that you can tighten down to throw tension. In this case, it'd be on this limb. If you wanted to put tension on, more tension on this limb, you'd move it over here and you can adjust that cam limb left to right to adjust your paper tune. Full transparency, I didn't even have to. I threw the rest on, okay? And I had a slightly, if I remember, a slightly left tear. And I just had to move my rest over just a slight amount, and I was shooting bullet holes. I had a slight tail, I think it was low tear. I actually ended up moving my knock point up because it wasn't totally tight and secure at that point. I moved it up slightly, and next thing you know, I was throwing bullet holes. So I never even had to go into using the limb tuning method on this. But it is there if you need it, and makes it so simple for anybody without a bow press, without a lot of, you know, wanting to mess around with the rest or anything, to shoot bullet holes. And I was shooting bullet holes out to 8 yards with this on a bare shaft, as you see right here. So again, this is my basic setup. I mentioned earlier, I do like to run my stabilizer down low. That's just personal preference. I feel it balances my bow out a little bit better. I've got a back bar. I'm set up at 65 pounds, 29-inch draw. Here's what I will tell you. I cheated this. I don't know that, I doubt this is Darton approved. I like a little more valley in my bows. And so I did take, the draw module is set at 29. I set the small draw stop at 29.5. It extends the draw to about 29.25, which actually is about where I typically fall. I can float between a 29 and 29.5 comfortably. I really like about 29.25, and I like a deeper valley. I'm not saying that you should do this. I'm pretty sure Darton doesn't want you to do this, but I'm telling you, I really like the way it's set up, and that's how I'm shooting my bow. So just letting you know out there, because I like that valley, okay? I had a friend recently tell me I'm a lazy shooter. Maybe I am. I like a deeper valley in my bows. I like the feel of it. So with that said, these happen to be some Black Eagle Talon 300 spine arrows cut at about 28 inches, 125 grain up front. I believe this is sitting right around 442, 443 grain total weight on this arrow. And per the calculators, it should be pumping out the arrow at around 282, 283 in that ballpark. I do not have a chronograph, so I cannot do that. But that gives you an idea what kind of speeds we are shooting, again, at 65 pounds, 29.25-inch draw. So we're just sitting here at 20 yards. I'm gonna throw a few down here. This is really my third session shooting this bow. I did throw on a sight tape out to 60. I think I'm within a number. You know, I may have to, after I shoot it a little bit more, throw a different sight tape on it within it, but I'm real close. So I'm just gonna throw a couple down here at 20 yards. You can hear it, you can see what's going on. The bow does not move, it's very quiet. So here we go. perfect bullseye. That was upper left corner. The draw cycle on this thing is so smooth, and again, with that little bit of extra on the back end adjustment I did, the valley, I love it. I love how solid the back wall is. Another real close to perfect bullseye. Very smooth for 65 pounds. Again, I don't know what my let off is right now because I added that. I'm saying it's probably 90%. Another nice shot right in there. I've never shot the Black Eagle arrows either. These are shooting really nice. I think the Talons are some of their higher end arrows. These are a .001 straightness. Another nice shot right in there. Another fairly nice shot. That one might be a fuzz high, but that was purely me. I'm gonna walk this up there. I'm gonna show you these shots. Again, I think this is like my third trip out with this bow. So I've not spent much time with this bow at all. And yeah, that last shot was high. I think that was me. So you can see here we've got, without spending much time with this bow. And again, sorry, I don't have an ND filter, so things are really blown out. Perfect bullseye in the first shot. Second shot, maybe an inch low to the right. Third shot, perfect bullseye. Second shot, just barely high. And my right shot, or my last shot, was a little bit high into the right, and that was me at the release. So those are the 5 arrows that I just shot right there. So we could go back and stretch this thing out, but again, I really need to put some more time in it. I was shooting at 60 the other day. Grouping fairly decent. I just need to put a little more time myself into it. Brand new bow, brand new platform for me. This is the first Darton that I've ever owned. Really excited about the opportunity to work with Darton moving forward for at least hopefully the next year or longer. Very, very, very impressed with this bow. I do have a Consequence 2 coming my way as well. I'm going to set up for my daughter, which I'm very excited about. So I will give everybody my thoughts on that bow as well when I get that set up for her. It's not shown up yet, but man, the machining on this bow, the color, I love the green, the feel of this bow, everything about it I'm really, really liking. So I think the retail price point's somewhere in the $1,200 range on these. So you need to get to your shops and get one in your hands and get shooting it. Give them a chance, man. Darton has come out with, you know, they've been the leader when it comes to patents and everything in the archery industry for decades. And they're really focusing now on their own production bows, and it shows. I don't know. I can just sit here and ramble on about how good it is. Obviously, I am now working with them, so there is some bias in that. Take it with it what you will. But I think if you start going down the rabbit hole on YouTube, forums, social media pages when it comes to Darton, you're going to find that a lot of people are screaming about how excellent these bows are. You cannot go wrong with them. So there you go. That's it. Check them out at dartonarchery.com and all their social media pages and all that. Keep checking out my content. I can't wait. Here we are. It's almost September 1st, so I am about 2.5 weeks away from my deer season opening. So I cannot wait to put this thing to use. I got a lot more arrows to put down range. But yeah, this is going to draw some blood this fall. So as always, thank you so much for watching. Good luck this season. Stay safe. And as always, it's a new day. in the outdoors.